All right, so 2020, it's here, and thus begins the journey to the wrestling school. I'm planning on starting my official training in March. That's the leeway they ask for is 3 months. In the meantime, I am getting myself ready, meaning I'm going to lose a little weight, get back in the gym, things of that nature. And the first thing we're starting with is getting my diet in order. I haven't necessarily been eating poorly. I've been eating pretty healthy foods, but it's the quantities in which I eat that have always been my downfall in losing weight. Because I'll tend to go back for seconds and thirds instead of waiting and letting the food settle and being satisfied with the amount I've eaten. So to prevent myself from doing that, again, I have taken the nutrition and diet part of the program, of my personal program, out of my hands and put it in the hands of my wife.
And that's me.
So
That's me.
she's here to tell us about what we're doing to jumpstart 2020. I asked her last year to start thinking about this. So we want to do a program that's going to just kind of reset the system, as it were. And that way, going forward, our systems will be working at the best they can be. So she did research, she looked, and she found something.
Well, actually, I can't take all the credit. I was kind of looking around, and then my mom found this thing. She's like, "Hey, how's this look?" And I was like, "It looks great." And so she sent us the book. So
There you go.
gotta say thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Because it's been working pretty well, I think. So
We're only 5 days in, so.
Yeah, we're only 5 days in. But it's called the Stark Naked 21-Day Metabolic Reset. Or it might just be 21-Day Reset. I have to look at the book. But
We'll put a link somewhere down here to the book so you can go check it out if you're interested at all. It's not an easy program.
well, it's not easy, but I think it's not any more difficult than any other sort of
Well,
food
any other structured program. It just requires discipline, and that's always a tough part, because this one, I know it's going to require you to go shopping. You're going to have to buy foods that you're going to have to cook. But I think he makes a good point in the book, and I think I remember you talking about this, is do all your shopping and prep work in one day to make cooking during the week easier. Which we still haven't done, but
I'm doing it later this evening. But yeah, so the idea behind it is, like, if you're really tired and draggy, sort of generally worn out, you're probably experiencing a metabolic breakdown. And the 3 main factors in a metabolic breakdown are your liver is congested, like working overtime, that, and then other issues influence your hormones. Your hormones are out of whack. And possibly food sensitivities. That's kind of like a tertiary thing, but he addresses it because it can be bigger for some people than others. So he takes out a bunch of foods that aren't necessarily, they're not bad for you, like blueberries, almonds, and salmon. Those things aren't bad for you, but some people are like, if some is good, more is better. I will be the most healthy, and that's all they eat. So then they their body's like, I can't process any more of this. So he takes you off some of the common things that people might overdo, and then he's also attempting to support your liver and then the rest of your body, so that your liver can kind of process through all this like junk that's in your system and making you feel awful. So food wise, we're drinking warm lemon water as soon as we get up, and then a smoothie hopefully within an hour when we get up. These are green smoothies, so they're a little more challenging than your typical smoothie.
yeah.
I think they're okay, but he hates them.
All I can say is add like extra water so you can drink it faster, because the thicker they are, the harder they are to drink.
In the middle of the morning, you're supposed to start drinking, like he calls it the cranberry cocktail. So it's like unsweetened cranberry juice and water that you've mixed together. And so you start that kind of in the middle of the morning. That's like your morning snack. And then you sort of finish it throughout the day. Then you have lunch, dinner, and a bedtime snack, which I find pretty great, because a lot of the programs I've been on do not incorporate any sort of...
Yeah, usually they're like, after a certain point of the day, you can't eat anything. You're pretty much hosed if you don't get enough.
Yeah.
This one, he doesn't mind you eating right before you go to bed, but it's very restricted on what you can eat, but you at least get something to help you.
And it's nice. It's like, especially if you ate as much dinner as you were supposed to. Oh, that was another thing that was a little bit of a learning curve, because I'm used to thinking of, like, they give you may have X amount of food. And I'm used to thinking of that as the ceiling. That's the max amount that you can have. But what he does is he says you may have, this, that, and the other, and that's the minimum. Like, you have to have at least this much, because this is what your body needs to, like, process and catch up and repair itself. You may have more up, until you're satisfied. But we weren't doing that.
No.
So we kind of hamstrung ourselves a little bit for the first couple days.
Knowing that I can actually go back and get more food if I need it. Now, you're only allowed to get more of protein, your protein
veggies.
and your veggies. You can't get more fats, can't get more carbs. And considering all your protein is usually chicken or lean pork.
You can do fish, just
You can
not
do fish.
salmon or shellfish.
Yeah, it has to be whitefish essentially.
Eggs are also allowable.
Yeah.
We're gonna have an omelet later this week. It's on the menu. Oh yeah, the other thing is you're not supposed to do caffeine, alcohol, and you're supposed to cut out processed sugar.
That's been the challenge.
Yeah, the processed sugar is the one.
We're kind of weaning our way onto the program as opposed to, a lot of people wean themselves off of things. We're weaning our way onto the program. And I think by the end of this week, we'll pretty much be living on the program. But it's only 21 days too, so that's the beauty part. And then you go to a second phase, which is your maintenance phase, or whatever they call it. It's what you're supposed to do after you've finished your 21-day reset. So we're going to go check out the school. They do a free show every Thursday, so we're going to go this week, which will be after this video comes out, because it comes out on Friday. But we'll probably have posted some stuff on Facebook, Twitter, and recorded some stuff for next week. And we can talk about more about it and go from there. But in the meantime, if you have any tips or tricks that for nutrition, we're open.
We'll take it.
We're not experts by any means of the word, but we're doing the best we can, and any advice is always welcome from anybody who has some. And then, we'll see you later.